Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mutiara from class 8 to 2022, majoring in English education. I will explain about word and sentence stress. First, I will explain word stress. Definition of word stress. Word stress is the sound pressure that occurs in syllables. In vocabulary, we need to emphasize a syllable. In other words, we need to read certain syllables in a higher and louder tone than others. In linguistics, stress is referred to as the relative emphasis that may be given to certain syllables in a word, or certain words in a phrase or sentence. Stress is usually characterized by traits such as increased loudness and length of vowels, full articulation of vowels, and changes in pitch. Stress rules for two-syllable nouns and adjectives. First, two-syllable adjective. Examples of adjectives with two syllables: vibrant, happy, pretty, hungry. The emphasis of each two-syllable adjective is on the first syllable. Second, nouns with two syllables. Examples of nouns with two syllables but also verbs: present, record, object, import. The first syllable in a two-syllable noun is emphasized in the word. Remember, most nouns and adjectives with two syllables put stress on the first syllable. Stress rules for two-syllable verbs. Examples of verbs with two syllables: present, record, object, import. The emphasis of each two-syllable verb is on the second syllable. Remember, most two-syllable verbs emphasize the second syllable. Rules for nouns containing three or more syllables. Important warning: unlike grammar, pronunciation sometimes has no definite rules as it evolves and changes. Examples of nouns containing three or more syllables: photography, democracy, photosynthesis, metamorphosis, borderline, syllable, accident. In some cases, most nouns containing three or more syllables are often emphasized on the antepenultimate or the third to last syllable. Second, I will explain the sentence stress. Definition of sentence stress. Sentence stress is the emphasizing of words in a sentence so that what is said can be understood by others. This emphasis can be one or more words, depending on which part the speaker really wants to emphasize in the sentence. By emphasizing certain parts, the listener will find it easier to understand the meaning that is being conveyed. How to use sentence stress? First, raising the voice. The first method of sentence stress is to raise the voice on the part or word that you want to emphasize. For example, in the sentence "I want to eat," the word "eat" is emphasized. So raise your voice in saying the word "eat" compared to when saying other words. Second, lengthen the word. The second way to sentence stress is to lengthen the part or word. If other words are pronounced with one beat, then the word you want to emphasize is pronounced with two beats. For example, in the same sentence example "I want to eat," we want to emphasize the word "want." Then we can pronounce the word "want" two beats longer than the other words. Third, words that are not emphasized. The third way of putting sentence stress on a word that is not stressed, where our voice can be smaller on the word. That way, the word we want to emphasize will be able to be heard more clearly and loudly. Rules in sentence stress. First, meaning to be emphasized. The first rule of sentence stress is to know the meaning you want to emphasize. This rule applies more to the speaker, where the speaker knows the meaning to be emphasized from what he or she is saying. For example, in the following sentence, "I didn't use your computer yesterday." Second, subject and object are nouns. The next rule in sentence stress is to look at the subject and object in the sentence. If the subject and object are nouns, then the emphasis is on the subject and the object. For example, in the following example, "cat cases mouse." In this sentence, the words cat and mouse are emphasized more than the other word case. By doing so, the subject and object in this sentence will be heard more clearly. The emphasis will help the listener understand who is doing something and what the object is. Third, subject and object pronouns. The next rule still refers to the subject and object in the sentence. However, this rule emphasizes subjects and objects that are pronouns. If the subject and object in a sentence are pronouns, then the emphasis is on the verb. For example, in the following example, he gives a present for her. In the sentence above, the emphasized part is the verb, which in this example is gives.